morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yagami here, bringing you a closer look to Moira. And right off the bat, before we do anything related to her, let me talk first about her story. So we'll start with the story of this character, and hopefully this is going to be a regular thing that I will be doing in this channel as much as possible. We talk first about the story, then we go to the hero gallery, see the skins and victory poses and all those interesting things to us, and then we'll head into a gameplay, see her abilities. And after that, I'll give you another video of live gameplay of said hero. So, before anything, this is PTR, this is not live yet. Moira is yet to come into the live service. I have no idea when though. They did not release a set date, I think. So yeah, this is PTR. Anyway, let's go to the bio, which is, by the way, a quote from the Wikipedia, so it's not something that I came up with. Anyway, Moira's biography. Equal parts brilliant and controversial, scientist Moira O'Doraine, I hope that I pronounced that correctly, is on the cutting edge of genetic engineering, searching for a way to rewrite the fundamental building blocks of life. Over a decade ago, O'Doraine made waves when she published a controversial paper detailing a methodology for creating custom genetic programs that could alter DNA at a cellular level. It seemed like a promising step forward, overcoming diseases and disorders and maximizing human potential. Dissent among her peers soon followed. Many considered her work to be dangerous because of its perceived ethical shortfalls, and O'Doraine was even accused of having the same unchecked desire for scientific advancement that some believed had caused the Omnic crisis. In addition, other geneticists were unable to reproduce the results of Moira's research, which further called her discoveries into question. Instead of kickstarting her career, her paper seriously damaged her reputation. She received a lifeline in an offer from an unlikely source, Overwatch's covert division, Blackwatch. She continued her work in the shadows while developing new weapons and technologies for the organization. Her employment was a closely kept secret until it was uncovered during the inquiries following the Venice incident, and many high-ranking Overwatch officials discovered all knowledge of her affiliation with them. I wonder who kept it as a closely guarded secret. Anyway, after Overwatch was disbanded, O'Doraine was forced to turn to unconventional sources of funding. This time, she was invited to join the scientific collective that had funded the city of Oasis. Yet, some have whispered that the shadowy Talon organization had already been supporting her for years, aiding her experiments in exchange for utilizing the results for their own purposes. Though O'Doraine will go to any lengths to make scientific breakthroughs, her work is still unknown to most of the world. But now that she has been freed from all constraints, it is only a matter of time before everything changes. And this is briefly Moira's biography. A scientist that pushes the boundaries and people who has more conscience and, who doesn't want another Omnic crisis or equivalent to it, kinda tries to put the brake on her. And by doing so, of course, she faces obstacles and she will do anything in her power to continue her research. And that will attract the eyes of other organizations that do not care about humanity, but only care about their own objectives and money. Anyway, let's go to the hero gallery and check her design and the skins that they offer us and other things. So first and right off the bat, for me, this skin right here, the base skin, is amazing. I'm a big fan of purple and a big fan of black, not so much for orange. But yeah, the overall design is a futuristic, kind of reminds me of Deus Ex a bit. Deus Ex has these kind of sharp edges and corners in clothing, and it's not Deus Ex, it's basically usual futuristic aspects in games and movies in general. This is not the first time that I see stuff like this, but it's nevertheless a stylistic approach to futuristic stuff. So it's kind of like a classic doctor's or scientific, blouse, which is modified into an armor. It's like a mix of things, and it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, I really like it, especially the engine that it's attached to her spine, I presume, which is providing her with healing / damaging abilities. So she, without a doubt, the skin alone can tell us how much she is willing to go as a scientist, as a mad scientist, whatever you want to call her. She done research on herself and she modified herself, and that's how she rolls. Anyway, skins. The first skin is the Fiery. Let me guess, it's an orange and yellow, like the Fiery. This is kind of like the fire. I don't know, is this, maybe this is coincidental, but this looks kind of like the Firebird set in Diablo. If it's a nod to it, well done, the Overwatch team. You're good. Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of orange and yellow. Orange and black or yellow and black. Okay, but yeah, overall, it's an okay skin. Iteration. Royal. Now pink. No, not pink. Purple, on the other hand, I'm a big fan of. The purple is alright here. I would have rather had the blue lines as black, but you know what? It's okay. If I had to choose between Fiery and Royal, I'd go with Royal without breaking a sweat. What's this? The Silky. Cyan colour, greenish, black, and nothing too major. It's not the type. It's good, though the black lines add a zest to it. And we have Whiskey. Whiskey is yellowy black. This is good. This one is great. So if I have to have a top one and a worst one, I'd go with a Royal as the first one. Second one is Silky. Third one is Whiskey. And the last one is the Fiery. Although if it's a nod to Diablo, the Fiery is going to be bumped my second favorite. But yeah, let's go to the purple skins. These are the 250 skins. This is the Ornate. Green with a hint of beige, kind of brown. It's alright. Not my favourite. And we got the Pale. Now the Pale is good. The Pale is not to scientists, and this is a safe skin choice, to be honest. This is good. Like, if you don't have the money, and like we say, the colours and tastes are individual stuff. You cannot all like the same thing, so it's all down to what you like and what you dislike. But for me, this is the skin to go to. Now the legendaries, the 1000 skins. We've got the Minister. Going with the theme of futuristic, kind of reminds me of someone who you will find in a council, like in Star Wars, for example, or some I don't know, not Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, you know, the people you see in the background when someone has to take a decision. You would probably see a character like this with a haircut, with the crown and everything, sitting to tell you or to impose authority and stuff. So this is a lovely design. We got the Oasis, an iteration with the colors of the map Oasis. There's a hint of gold in the dress and in the legs. This one is amazing. I like it better than this one. This is like classic vanilla, but yeah. I'd rather have the Oasis one. I guess the gold represents the desert, because Oasis is in a desert-ish area. So yeah, we've got a glam. This is cool. This is like, it's either 80s type or cyberpunk type. So it's like, yeah, it's probably more cyberpunkish. It's alright, but I'm not a big fan of the Superman panties over the pants thingy. The moon, though, despite the thing that I dislike, is great. The black and the dark blue is great. So this is gonna be the skin that I will buy if I am to buy a skin. This one is gonna be it. Amazing. I like dark and I like purple, and hey, I used to be great fan of rock and metal and stuff, and the face paint is a great nod to it. So yeah, this is a good skin. Her skins are kinda safe choices, to be honest, but yeah, great skins, great designs, and are tied closely to her personality. So good job, design team, good job. And now that that is done, let's go to training and have a look at her abilities. Where's Moira? There you go.
Science will reveal the truth.
Science will reveal the truth. Good. She's all about science. Let me guess. You're atheist? Hey. It's science, so whatever. So, anyway, as I try to desperately battle my allergy and my nose being clogged up, apologies for that, let's start with the first abilities, the left and right click. So, her left click and her right click are called Biotic Grasp. And using her left hand, Moira expands Biotic Energy to heal allies in front of her. As for her right hand, fires a long-range beam weapon that saps enemies' health. It saps the enemy's health. It doesn't deal damage. It absorbs health or life from her enemies. Quite sinister for an ability, healing Moira and replenishing her biotic field. So the left click is the heal. It's a yellow beam, signification, healing and stuff. It's the theme for heal. But as you can see, it depletes the white bar. And in order to regenerate the white bar, which, as you can see, slowly regenerates over time. This is like if you are in a position where you cannot reach the enemy and you cannot fire away, well, you still have your ability recharging passively. It's not as effective as using your right button, as you can see, to one, deal damage, and two, replenish the ability. But yeah, should you find yourself in a situation where you cannot be in front of enemies dealing damage, or it is too dangerous for you, the ability or your healing ability still recharges slowly nonetheless, and I'm certain if you use her other abilities they will recharge this bar as well. I don't know, it's probably it. So the beam deals 50 damage per second, and numbers in Overwatch are simple. If you have I don't know, Farah, for example, she has 200 damage, 200 HP, and your ability deals 50 damage a second. So it will take 4 seconds to kill a Farah, which is an interesting thing. There's of course shields and barriers, but also these are easier things to calculate. So yeah, as you can see, it will take her 4 seconds to kill a Farah. Now a Roadhog, on the other hand, she's probably gonna take a long time to kill him. Now let's go to her left shift, which is this one. Oh, I didn't move. The left shift is kinda like Reaper's ability, the Shadow Walk, and it's called Fade. It has a 6-second cooldown and it has a 10-meter range, and when you use it, as you can see, it's kinda slow teleportation device from one point to the other, or you can use it in place, as you can see, in order to dodge some incoming attacks. So always keep that in mind. You do not have to go left and right. So if you are in a tight spot, say in this stairs for example, as you can see, left is death, right is, let's just say right is death as well, and front and back are probably dangerous. You can still do it while standing still, and it will enable you to dodge, you know, I don't know, something like Reinhardt's ultimate, for example, or his E or whatever. So it's a great bread and butter ability that you will require to master in order to maximize the potential of Moira. Next ability is called the Biotic Orb. Now what does the Biotic Orb do? It's the same theme as her left and right hand. The left heals, the right deals damage. And same with the orb, the left heals, the right deals damage. So if you press the left button, you will launch an orb that will heal allies when it touches them. Let me use it like so, and it bounces randomly, as you can see, so try to not use it in the air unless you have to, and I don't know, your friends are in a line, so if you use it, you'll maximize its potential, and as it touches your allies, it will deplete little by little, so it will heal the maximum. Guy that is next to you or near you is going to be healed to the maximum, and the one next to him it will be healed less and less and less, and until it depletes. Same goes for the damaging orb. As you launch it, does the same thing, and it damages whatever it touches, but the more people it touches, the smaller the orb gets and the less damage it inflicts, as you saw. As I use it, there we go. So it dealt massive damage to the first enemy and not so much damage to the second one, and so on and so forth. It's a good compromise thing to do. I mean, if it was always in the same level, it would be devastating. In a small area like this room or something where people are bunched up, you use it and trust me, it will do destruction. And it still does, to be honest. It's a really good ability. So yeah, how much damage does this do? So it has a 200 max damage and 300 maxed healing. And cooldown wise, it's 10 seconds. Really great. So what do we have else? Oh yes, the ultimate ability, which is a really interesting and a straightforward ability. It's called the Coalescence. The Coalescence is like a laser beam that fires straight forward. It both heals your allies and damages enemies, and it really greatly heals and damages people. Let me have these bots spawn so I can demonstrate it more efficiently. So it deals 66.6 damage per second and lasts 6 seconds. And of course the default button is A, and there we go. You just do it like this. As you can see, I'm dealing damage to one bot and healing the bot next to me, and it is without a doubt really maximum damage. So yeah, it's straightforward ability, an amazing one, really great in team fights and in situation. So now that we talked about Moira's abilities, it goes without saying that Moira, compared to the other heroes that came to Overwatch, is a really simple and easy yet fun hero, and I am all in favor of this. I'm a bit tired of the heroes that were coming, like Ana, Sombra and Doomfist. These are, don't get me wrong, great heroes, but the problem is they are not noob friendly. Moira, on the other hand, is great. So if you're new to the game, you're gonna love Moira, and you're gonna provide a lot of utility to your team. So undoubtedly, you're gonna see a lot of Moira in ranked play. You can heal, you can damage, and the damaging is easy. It's kind of like Symmetra's left click or right click, but unlike Symmetra, you kind of need to have your cursor near an enemy for your ability to connect with them and deal damage. So you can dodge, you can jump and everything, and you still deal damage. But the main thing is the healing and the orbs. So yeah, honestly, I'm a big fan of Moira, and I think, I'm probably certain, I'm gonna pick her as one of my mains. Especially since Mercy is gonna be hit with the nerf hammer. We're still gonna have Ana and stuff, and Mercy is still gonna be a really good support. But honestly, fun wise, Moira is amazing. So yeah, this concludes our introduction / plots / abilities video, and I hope to bring you a live gameplay, as I would like to discover her myself and see all the uses of Moira in a live match. So this has been Yagami, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you next time.